Taxi story number 4. Well, the company I work for does a number of fixed prices. These fixed prices are generally for airports, hospitals, and a few wedding venues. Now, it seems to be quite fashionable at the moment for people to have, for weddings, at quite rural situations, barns, things like that, farms, a little bit out of the way. And I had a job one evening picking up from one of these rural barns, coming them into a guest house not too far from base. It was a set fare for this. That's a fixed price of £30. Now, I knew it was £30, and I also know that the people I was picking up were also aware it was £30. So there's no confusion whatsoever about how much this was going to cost. I pulled up at the venue at the appointed time, and there was a young couple there, and he sat in the front, she sat in the back, and we started driving back. Now, by law, I have to have a meter running. No matter what I charge, I can't charge any more than what the meter says, but I can charge less at my own discretion. But as we all knew it was going to be £30, this wasn't going to be a problem. So we set off, and we set off coming back through the country roads as we normally do. Part of the way on the way back, the customer said to me, he said, "Do I know how far the wedding venue is from the guest house?" And I said to him, I said, yes, it's about 25-ish miles, but if you'd have said before we set off, I would have set the trip. He went, "Oh, okay." So we went a little bit further, and he asked me again, "Do I know how far it is to the guest house from the wedding venue?" And I said, I'm not too sure. I think I've said it's about 19.5 miles, he said. I said, "Oh, is it?" He said, "Yes, it's exactly 19.7 to be truthful." I said, "Oh, okay." I was thinking to myself, I'll see what he's going on about. A little bit further, and he asked me again. And I said, "Yes, it's 19.7 miles. I know that because you told me." And he said to me, he said, "I know that because that's what my sat-nav said when I came here." I said, "Well, okay." So we went a little bit further, and he said, "That meter's really going up through the roof now, isn't it? It's already on £18. I said, "Yes, don't worry about the meter. Just forget about it, because it's going to cost £30 no matter what. That's what the price is set at, and that's what it's going to be. Don't worry about the meter." So we went a little bit further, and he said, "So that meter's up to £22 now?" And I said, "Look, I told you not to worry about it." He said, "Well, how do I know?" He said, "How do I know you're not going through all these rural back roads just to put the price up?" I said, "Well, there's no point, is there really? It's £30 is what it's going to cost, no matter which way I go. And by making the journey longer, all I'm actually doing is doing myself out of time and money. So £30, don't worry about it." A bit further, and he went, "That meter says £30 now, and we're still quite a way off." "Don't worry about it," I told him. "That's what it is. Don't worry about it." And I really was a bit fed up with this chap now, but never mind. We carried on going. A bit further. 35, he said. I ignored him. 40, he said. I ignored him. And we actually pulled up outside the guest house. The meter said 42. "How much money?" he said. £30. That's what was agreed. "That meter says 42. I said, "Yes, don't worry about the meter. It's £30. His partner got out the back door and started to make for the guest house. He said, "Oh, okay." He stood up. He opened the door and stood up. He threw 3 £20 notes, £60 onto the passenger seat, and he said, £60 there. He said, "I pay my way. I'm not after any cheap fares. So you keep that, and I think you're effing rip-off." So he slammed the car door and went into the guest house. Why and whatever was that about? Completely beyond me. Anyway, taxi story.